with Revive for Life, and we're just a group who want to share our faith with people, talk to people about Jesus. So that's why we're here today. We're here in Dinkytown. Person test. Do you care to take the good person test really quick? It's super simple.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But it basically goes.
Yeah.
So basically it goes. Would you consider yourself to be a good person?
I would. Yeah.
You would say yeah. That's a good answer. Yeah. And then it goes. Have you ever lied?
Yeah, definitely have lied before.
Okay.
You know.
What would you call someone who lies?
A liar.
A liar. Okay.
Right.
And then it goes. Have you ever taken anything that's not yours, even if it was something super small, like a pen or something?
When
like
I
that?
was younger.
When you were
Definitely when I was
younger. Okay. What I think we all have.
Like, teenager.
Right.
14,
Yeah.
Last time I did something stupid like that.
And so tell me, yeah. What would you call someone who takes something that's not theirs, steals?
A thief.
A thief.
Right?
Okay.
A thief.
That's good. And then it goes. Have you ever hated anybody?
I don't think I've ever hated anybody, but I do think that I've been upset with people about the way that they treat other people, the way that they handle things against me.
Against you, but it wouldn't like to the extent of hatred.
No, I would
say.
never say that. I would just disconnect myself from the person before I was feeling that deep about it. Do you know what I mean?
I understand. So you haven't allowed yourself to. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think most people have hated people.
Yeah,
but
hate's a tough one. You know, a murderer.
It's
Maybe you could hate someone that
dislike.
murdered someone in your family or something
Right,
like that. But
right.
to hate someone because they said something about me I didn't like, or like it's not that deep for me.
Okay, that's fair. So according to the good person test, by your own admission, you're a liar and a thief, which we all are.
That's tough.
It's tough, yeah. But we're all gonna die one day, obviously. And if you were to die and face a God of judgment, do you think you'd be innocent or guilty?
You know what? No, I'm good. Do I think I would be innocent? Or, you know what? That's a tough one because it depends on, right? What's the exact criteria? Because
The criteria.
as far as just as times went on, you know, it's not as much of a. Used to be when I was younger. No sex before marriage.
Right.
None of this stuff.
Right.
It seems like the goalposts kind of get moved. as
Right,
times
and the
went on,
world
as
and
I get-
society changes things.
Yeah.
But like just by what I've told you, like I'm sure you've heard of like the 10 Commandments. Like don't lie, don't steal.
right.
But if you were judged by those, do you think you'd be innocent or guilty?
If you're considering any time making a mistake in your life, you know, as a child, then yeah, for sure. But I'm 43 years old and I have not done any of this type of stuff.
Right,
since,
but you know, how many times do you have to lie to be a liar? How many times do you have to steal?
Right. But how old do you have to be to understand if you're a liar? You know what I mean? If you're a 13-year-old kid and you lie because your parents might hit you, you know what I mean? So that's
well, you still kind of know, like for example, like a child, you know, they take a cookie from the cookie jar and they're like,
right. But a kid who doesn't want to get hit, though.
Right, but they still kind of know, but they still kind of know because if they get caught,
right?
But
like, you don't want to get hit, so you're doing it out of self-preservation. You're not doing it because you're a liar and you want to deceive people. You get what I mean? So that's why it's kind of a.
I see where you're going.
Yeah.
So would you say that? So you'd say the ends justify the means? So
No, I wouldn't say that. No, not at all. I wouldn't say that at all. I'm just saying, how old are we talking? Are you talking adults? Or are you talking about children?
I'm talking that. Have you done those things before?
Yeah, as a child. But that's what I'm asking you. If you're talking about as a child, if you're holding children accountable, that's my only thing is, you kind of got to watch that slippery slope. But I understand as adults, stealing is wrong. Lying is wrong. You know what I mean? So that's.
So would you say that ever since you were a child, you're perfect and you've never made
No.
wrong
I just mean, I haven't did anything to deceive other people.
Okay.
Knowingly, to get out of something. I don't apply for assistance that's not for me. I don't say my income is this. You know what I mean? So
you
I
say
have morality.
You have morality. So you're saying that you're not that you're perfect, but you've kind of tried to not deceive, not to live at a certain standard.
Yeah. You're right. Exactly.
Right, and
right.
I think we could.
I got a daughter that's, how old are you? You probably 22.
Like 20, yeah.
My daughter. I got a 26-year-old daughter. So you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for your example to be. You know what I mean. So I'm just letting you know, as an adult, I don't do these things. But as a child, I stole from the store when I was a kid.
Right.
Used to get suspended from school. Used to lie about stuff. So I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to figure out at what point are you holding people
accountable.
Yeah.
So I think we can do that, right? Because aside from the childhood, let's wipe away childhood, right? And then you have your life and you say, I'm not perfect, but I've kind of lived at this standard, right? And we can do that, and then we can go to the guy who's, doing drugs on the side of the corner of the street, and I'm better than that guy, because this guy's doing, he's in the thick of it right now. And then, we can go, and then that guy, we talk to that guy, like, well, you need to fix your life. And he can go, well, I don't murder people, so I'm not that bad. I'm over here, I'm hurting myself, but I'm not hurting other people.
Right.
And then you can go to the murderer, and the murderer can say, well, I murdered one person, but I didn't murder, a ton of people like Hitler or Mussolini or all these other people. So you can kind of keep passing bow and say, well, I'm better than this person, I'm better than that, I'm better than that person.
Right.
I think the point and what our group is about, what the Bible talks about, is that we're all sinful, we've all done things that we're not proud of.
Right.
And I'm sure you have in your mind, like,
for sure,
this ideal person
definitely.
you want to be, right? I want to be a person that's this, that's, whatever. And the Bible talks about how God can help us become that person. Like, I kind of a way I like to think of it is like you have a heavy box, right? And I say move it from here to over there. Like, that's tough, right? Like, even if you accomplish it, it'd be a lot of work.
Right.
But then if I give you a cart to put that heavy box on and then you shove it over, like you wheel the cart over, it was effortless, but you accomplished the same task.
Right.
And that's how the Bible talks about the grace of God in our lives. I'm not sure if you've heard the gospel, you're familiar with it, how God loved us so much that he sent his son Jesus Christ to die on the cross for us.
Well, I was raised Jehovah's Witness. So
Jehovah's Witness,
right
so okay,
you know
that's fair.
So
That's good.
You know what I mean? So morality always been a part of everything we've done.
Right, and they talk about, you need forgiveness because you're so bad. You need to be forgiven. But it's not just that. It's also God wants to help us be that person. And it's not should be a striving thing, like a New Year's resolution, like I'm going to be more this year. And then after a while,
December, I know what you mean. December,
by whatever.
Be like, I'm not doing this
I'm
again.
not doing this again. And then how many weeks, how many days, and then you're back at it. But that's what the grace of God does. You find yourself being this new person and doing those things that we should do. We know we should do them. We know what being a better person is like. We can envision it in our minds. But you can't make yourself be that person. And we need God's help. That's what we need God's grace for, because you can't make yourself, do those things. So that's what I wanted to encourage you about. I'm not sure if you've read the Bible before, if you considered, making that decision. But
life been real hectic, been busy.
Right.
Trying to keep up with everything. I work a lot of hours every week, but like I said, it's always in the back of my mind, and I'm always praying, to God, and always trying to make sure that I'm, trying to be the best
answering your prayers
person.
by trying to get you to think more about this stuff. Hopefully
sure,
send us into your life more even.
If you don't mind, can we invite you for our fellowship?
It just depends on what area it's in.
It's kind of around this same area, like Washington Avenue.
About how many minutes away from here?
If I want to say a walk, it would be from here. It'd be less than a 15-20 minute walk.
20 minutes
but
away.
We'll definitely. I'm not sure if you use Instagram, you use YouTube.
You know what? I don't really do social media.
You don't do
my
that's
kids
okay.
don't. I really don't do social media. I don't have Facebook.
Do you have if you put into your I'm not sure if you remember it or write it down, but our church is called Deeper Life Bible Church. It will be the closest one since St. Paul, but it's Sunday mornings, 9:30 a.m. if you want to check us out.
I'll tell you what, Shorty. You text me the
Life for Life. It's like a Christian signature, and Gloria's part of it too.
You're Chloe? Glory.
Oh, Glory.
Yeah, what's your name?
I'm Chloe.
Chloe. Oh, nice to
Chloe?
meet you.
Yeah.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, so I was kind of like a less of a, not really like in a church setting, but it's Sunday nights. We started it, so if you were ever interested, we have that going too.
Okay.
But yeah, our group has this thing called the Good Person Test. You kind of take the Good Person Test really quick. It's super simple.
Yeah, sure. I can do it.
Yeah, super
Thank you.
simple. Yeah, no, I'm but yeah, so it goes would you consider yourself to be a good person?
Yes.
That's a good answer. And then it goes,
I hope people say that.
I hope people say that. Yeah, I was like, no, I'm a bad person. But yeah, so it goes, have you ever lied before?
Yes.
Okay. What would you call someone who lies? What would you call someone who lies?
Like a liar.
A liar, okay.
Yeah.
And it goes, have you ever taken anything that's not yours, even if it was something super simple like a pen or something like that?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
At some
sometime
point?
in my life. I just
Okay.
remember, yeah.
Honest, good. I wasn't a lie. But yeah, so what would you call someone who takes something that's not theirs, steals?
Yeah.
What would you
like
call
like a stealer?
a stealer,
thief or
thief?
something,
Yeah, that kind of. And then it goes, have you ever hated anyone before?
I've never hated. I don't think just maybe disliked. someone.
Dislike,
I
but
don't
never
think I've
like to
ever
the level
hated.
of hate. Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. But according to the Good Person Test, by your own admission, you're a liar and a thief, which we all are. We've all done those things. But if you we're all gonna die one day, obviously. And if you were to die and face a God of judgment, do you think you'd be innocent or guilty?
I'm not sure because I'm not really religious. So I don't really know.
You don't really. So I guess by I'm not sure if you've heard of the 10 Commandments, but it kind of talks about don't lie, don't steal, don't, all these things we kind of know, like your conscience, that you know are wrong.
Yeah.
If you were judged by that, do you think you would see something?
I think the stuff that I've done, I think is very common. I don't if everyone was guilty. I don't feel or if everyone if that is everything that I've done is considered guilty, then I think most people
Then
would
everyone would be guilty.
Yeah.
And I think I get what you're saying. It's a really good point. Like I said, we've all done those
But
things.
obviously, like, we're not innocent. I don't think anybody is fully innocent.
Yeah, you're almost right. Like and one thing I wanted to point out before I get to that point, but like we can stand here and like obviously we haven't done a lot of horrible things that people do that land them in prison, but we can go to the guy on the side of the street
Right.
doing drugs and stuff like that, and we can say, well, we're much better than this guy, because we're not in this position. And that guy can say, well, I'm not that bad because I haven't
Yeah.
murdered anyone, at least it's only just me, I'm not hurting anyone.
Right.
And that guy who murdered someone, he can point to people, like, I haven't murdered a ton of people like Hitler and
Yeah.
Mussolini, all these people. So he can keep passing, the bar of like, oh, this is bad, this is more bad, justifying. But I think the point is that, like you said, we're all bad. We've all done things. Like, I'm not
Right.
sure if you've heard of, like, you came from, like, a religious background, or, like, you've heard of, like, what the Bible says. We talk about we're all guilty. Like, we've all done things we're not
Right.
proud of. We've all, like, gone astray and stuff like that. But it's like, what do we do? Like, I'm sure, like, you've thought about, like, this ideal version of yourself in your mind. Like, if you were, like, your perfect self, like, what would that look like? I'd be nicer, I'd be this, like, whatever.
Right.
Like, we've all thought about that. But it's like, how do we become that person? Like, it's almost like a New Year's resolution. Like, I'm going to be more whatever this year.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
how many days, how many weeks later, like, we're done with that.
Right.
So it's like, how do we become this person, and you're trying and it's not working? Like, and the thing I like to visualize, like, you have a heavy box, right? And I say move it from here to there, and you can't move the box, it's too heavy, right?
Right.
It's too tough. But if I then gave you a cart to put the box on and then you wheel it over, like, that was effortless, but you accomplish the same task. And that's kind of what the Bible talks about. Like, I'm not sure if you've heard the gospel before. It talks about how God loved us so much that he sent his son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross for us.
Right.
And he rose again the third day. But it wasn't just, because you're so bad, you need forgiveness. But also so we can, like, see ourselves becoming this person that we all know we're supposed to be. Because that's what the grace of God is. It's like that part. Like, it helps you just see yourself like, whoa, like, I'm actually becoming this person that, like, it's talking the Bible about. It's not like you read the Bible like, okay, I'm going to follow these 100 rules. Like, we can't do that. Like, it's not possible, right? We need the grace of God in our lives, and that's what a relationship with Jesus Christ does for us. It helps us to become this person, like, effortlessly, like, naturally. So yeah, I'm not sure if any of what I said made sense, or if you've heard it before.
I have heard some songs. My friends are also pretty religious and stuff, so like I hear some stuff.
You've heard some of this
my
stuff?
roommates, yeah.
Oh, that's so
they
cool.
go to church and everything, so I hear some of it, and sometimes I go with them. So, yeah.
That's so cool. But thank you for your time. Thank you for
of
hearing us
course.
out. But yeah,
Yeah.
if you're ever interested, you can find us on Instagram, Revive for Life, all lowercase, no space, with
Okay.
a 4 for
Okay.
4, and then we're on YouTube too.
Okay, sounds
So
good.
yeah, so if you're ever interested, but
Hi, thank you so much for watching to the end. Just like the Bible says in Romans 1:16, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone who believeth, to the Jews first and also to the Gentiles. Thank you so much once more for watching to the end. So please like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and our group is known as the Revive for Life. Please check out. Please also comment at the comment section where you would like to see us next. Thank you.